Welcome back to the Cardinal Newman Sports Podcast. We've got a new year, but the same Newman dominance. Hugo Traverso alongside Paulo Maravilla. Cardinals have been keeping it up, winning on the field, on the court, and on the mat. They've been everywhere this winter. We'll hear from some of the athletes in just a second, but we'll give you a brief rundown. Basketball has been incredible. Both teams are undefeated in league. Boys basketball looking to wrap up an undefeated league campaign tonight against Montgomery at 7:30, and then girls basketball tomorrow on YSN 365. They have their senior night, looking to wrap up another undefeated NBL campaign. I believe this is 13 consecutive years of it. Last time that they were undefeated, Paulo, that they did not go undefeated, Paulo, we were 6 years old. So an incredible run for Monica Myrtle and her Cardinals. I mean, basketball has just been dominating here in Santa Rosa.
Definitely, Hugo. You know, for the men's basketball team, they beat Santa Rosa 51-48 last night, and it was honestly astounding. The junior, A.J. Cole, had 30 points. He did a great job. As for girls soccer, they ended up winning 4-1 against Annalee last night, with Sophia Kerrigan doing a phenomenal job in the goalkeeper spot. For wrestling, they've also done a great job, led by senior Jonah Bertoli. He's done just such a great job being a captain, leading that team, and he's just purely dominating in that sport. For men's rugby, they've also been doing well as a new sport led by Coach Daniel Benjamin. They've done a great job. Lots of senior impact in a new sport in Newman. Lots of bright things coming up, Hugo.
Yeah, so we've got that and a whole lot more coming up here on the Cardinal Newman Sports Podcast. And get ready, at the end with Dave Cox, we'll have, once again, our Athletes of the Month. So stay tuned to watch that. We'll be right back. And now we jump into the interview portion of the Cardinal Newman Sports Podcast. Hugo Traverso alongside Legend Haile of our incredible men's basketball team, 23-2 on the year. They've been so stellar. Legend, you guys had a bit of a scare against Santa Rosa on senior night. But let's focus a little bit about senior night. What did it mean to you, being a 4-year varsity player, to step on to the John Fitzgerald Gymnasium court one final time in the regular season and have all of your family there and your friends there cheering you on?
Yeah, it just means a lot because I was in the kind of same spot as a freshman watching all my friends, Sam, Gavin, all them leave, and I just wanted to be like the senior like them for my teammates. And my parents were there and everyone was there, and I just felt like a deep support for me because, I haven't had that in a while, and everyone just at the game just made it like a good feeling for me, and it was good that we won too. Yeah.
Well, you talk about being that senior leader on this team. You guys have 2 freshmen, JJ and Jalen. You were once in their shoes. What have you told them? Any advice that you've given to them to help them as they, go through the motions of being a freshman on varsity?
Some things like playing time, mostly because I told them freshman year I didn't even see the court. I was literally just like a support from the bench, and that's what coach talks about a lot, is just being a good supporter. 1 through 12, everyone's got to be engaged, and that's what I kind of tell them because they're gonna get in the game obviously, but when they don't, it's just important to keep the rest of the team support up for everyone.
Well, I mean, I know Coach McManus is football, but you guys have definitely echoed a little bit of that mindset of having, harder games early on in the season, and that helps you when you guys get down into these, very scary, close games. Santa Rosa, 51-48. Obviously, the big game that stands out to everyone is your only loss. One of your 2 losses, Moreau Catholic, which was a really tough fought game. How do you think that game played into a game like Santa Rosa where you guys won 51-48 in the dying embers?
I would say, we went to overtime against Moreau, and we were down that whole game, and, we didn't have the football guys, so we were kind of low, but we just kind of didn't fight through the pressure, or we fought through the pressure, and we kind of just didn't crumble, which is something I would say we would have done that in the summer. But, our togetherness as a team and that halftime talk, we just, had to stay poised with each other, and just, any mistake, we just had to let it go through one ear, and, just had to keep going.
Well, now tonight you guys play at Montgomery to wrap up potentially an undefeated season. What's going to be the key to getting the dub tonight?
I would say the same thing is poise. Whenever something happens, you just got to stay straight, stay focused, because it's going to happen. There's going to be mistakes. We just have to overcome them, especially in that big crowd, that there's probably going to be a big crowd. You just got to stay focused and stay together as a team.
Well, the Cardinals will try to navigate the Red Sea at the Viking Dome tonight at 7:30 p.m. That's tip-off. Come out and see legends. Support your Cardinals. If you can't make it to the game, it will be broadcasted live on YouTube, on the radio. Hugo Traverso, Ethan Bowers, we will be there for live coverage on Hugo Sports 360 Live on YouTube. We'll be right back with Paulo and some soccer interviews. Thanks, legend.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Paulo Maravilia here with Sophia Kerrigan. Sophia, you guys won 4-1 last night against Italy. Did a phenomenal job dominating them. How do you feel about the team's overall performance as well as your performance in that game?
You know, Annalee was really good. We got to get a lot of our players in that typically don't get a lot of time, and it was great to see them play. Personally, I fear like I didn't do very much, but I had a great time watching everybody play, cheering them on, and we were really working on our communication in that game, so it worked really well.
Awesome. Sophia, you're committed yourself to Cornell University for playing goalkeeper. How do you feel about that, how the team's been playing so far, as well as your team's dreams for the season going forward?
You know, our team is looking forward a lot. Like, we try to focus game to game. So tomorrow's our biggest game of the season, just because that's how focused we are. But we do look forward to playoffs, and we're going to try and put in our best effort. I know the seniors really want to come out with a win this year in playoffs, best we can.
Awesome. And speaking of your head coach, John Gilson, he's been here forever and has done such a great job. How's your relationship with him and just his influence towards you in coaching?
John's great. He's been my goalkeeper coach since I was really young, so I have a lot of experience with him. He knows his stuff. He really contributes a lot to the team, to us, and his spirit that he puts into the team, that might be the biggest contributor. He puts in a lot of work. He cares so much, and I think it drives the team to care just as much as he does.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sophia. We're going to be heading to men's soccer here with going up against the NBL's defensive MVP with Oliver Curry. See you soon. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be going back to boys soccer. I'm here with Oliver Curry, the reigning MVP for defense for the NBL season. Oliver, your team's had a bit of a streaky start to this season, it's easy to say. How do you feel about your team's performance so far, as well as your capability of being a captain this season?
Yeah, I think our team has had a little bit of a shaky start, but we've come a long way. I mean, our first game against Healdsburg, we ourselves were a little shocked. It's a really new squad, but that was everyone's first time playing at the varsity level, aside from about 3 players on that field. So watching film and really getting together as a team, we've done a lot of team bonding. We've come together on Saturdays. I think we stand a great chance. I think we're starting to get a little bit of momentum as a team. Even though we haven't necessarily been winning as much, we've been playing harder. We've been having a lot more heart on the field. So I think the closer we come together as a whole, the stronger we'll be.
Thank you very much. And as the reigning defensive MVP for the NBL season, how do you feel about your own personal success this season on the field so far?
I think it's kind of hard to equate. I mean, last year, a whole different roster compared to this year, but I think for me, it's less of about personal success and kind of picking up the boys around me. So I have 3 other people in the back with me now. It's a whole different feeling, whole different dynamic. So I think for me as a captain and as the defensive MVP, it's my role now to try to pick up some of what we are potentially missing from the years prior and communicate more and how to have more of a presence vocally and as a leader than as like a physical presence on the field as a player.
Absolutely. And with playoffs coming up, Oliver, what do you think the mindset is for the team and Coach Corvo going into this deep playoff run?
I mean, in preseason, we are 2 for 3 against Division 4 teams, so we've had success there. Like I said, that was preseason, and we've come a long way since then. So I think we keep watching the film. Once we get to playoffs, we usually start watching film on other teams. So usually we get a little bit of a jump on the team there. And I think we'll have plenty of success. Like I said, we've matched up against other D4 opponents. We've had a lot of success. So I'm hoping we get a little bit momentum ending off league with a couple wins, and we carry that through.
Awesome. And we're going to be passing it on to men's rugby with Hugo Traverso. Thank you so much, Oliver. To you, Hugo.
Thank you, Paulo. We're here with men's rugby and their captain, Evan Graff. Now, Evan, it's been, a rough start to the season a little bit, but you guys are a new program. And, there's a lot of excitement here at the school around the new rugby team. You guys have already had 2 home games. A lot of fans have come out. What's the feeling around the team getting into this new sport?
Yeah, we're just really excited to start something new as like together, and we're all learning kind of at the same pace. Well, I played previously for a little bit, but I'm not a rugby expert or anything like that. So we're all kind of learning together through Coach Ben, and he's been a really great mentor for us and kind of teaching us how to play, like the respect that goes into it, and kind of the discipline that comes along with that too.
Well, now you guys have had, 2 games already under your belt. Everyone's learning the sport. How are you feeling coming out of those 2 home games? 2 losses, but closer games than a lot of people thought, and you did a great job out there.
Yeah, I'm just really proud of our guys. Like, we just been playing really hard. Everybody's playing together. We're not getting down on ourselves. We're kind of seeing what we can do each game to kind of improve ourselves in the little ways, like whether it's just kind of going in harder on the rucks or squeezing the scrum or getting a ball, trying to get the ball to the wingers and just trying to make plays.
Well, now you guys face Jesuit, and they are a tough team, nationally ranked. The Marauders up in Sacramento. It's a road game. What's your mindset heading into that game, and what are you guys looking to work on and refine?
Kind of control what we can control, like, do things right, go into rucks hard, kind of make secure tackles and not try to do too much, but kind of just keep play level headed and trying to be ahead of ourselves.
All right, thanks, Evan. That will conclude the Cardinal Newman Sports Podcast. Right next up, you want to stick around because we'll have Athlete of the Month with Dave Cox.
All right, welcome back to the podcast, and we are now bringing you the Athletes of the Month. First, our female Athlete of the Month, none other than Macy Flores, who's had a great season for the Cardinal Newman girls basketball team. The streak's still alive here in league play, but let's talk first about the non-league games. You guys had a really tough schedule, had some ups and downs, but now you're heading back to the Open. So how do you think those games early in the season have prepared you guys?
I mean, we obviously went through a rough patch in Arizona, and we were in like all close games. I think we've only had one game where it was like a pretty separated score, but we were in all close games, and like since then we've just learned what we need to do, and we've like learned more about what winning plays really are, and so that's going to help us for the playoffs.
It's really been a great team effort this year, but a lot of times you're really counted on to hit the threes and to do a lot of the scoring. Do you feel a little bit of pressure in games where other people aren't making shots and you're not scoring as much as you thought you would, and you really need to hit a few threes here and there?
I wouldn't say I feel the pressure, because if like for anyone, like for all of us, like if something's not falling or we're not scoring, like we'll just get like I feel like I can really trust anyone that like if they need to step up, make a layup, make a free throw, like I think anyone on the team will, and so that helps, and that takes the pressure off of me.
And you guys are instituting the press this year. How's that gone? Is that fun for you guys? Do you get a lot more tired during the game, or is it something that you guys really look forward to?
It was definitely an adjustment, like having to like run around like the whole game, but we started like the press in the summer, so we were like pretty much ready for it for league, and it helps so much. Like it just speeds the game up. Like we don't have to play at a slow pace. Like we don't like to play at a slow pace. So yeah.
That's nice. All right, following in your sister's footsteps, what does it mean to you to keep the streak alive that she started way back when?
I mean, I think it's crazy. Like she was like one of the first teams to be a part of the streak, and it's like now it's like it's still going on. Like however, like 8 years later, and it's like my turn now. I think it's funny, and I also think it's like just great to like be able to watch what they did and like knew what they did, and then to finally be here and continue it. Like I don't know, I love it.
And is it kind of a dream come true to be, having watched her games back when you were little, and now here you are, your junior year, and averaging, double digits in scoring?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I don't know. I think it's just, I don't know. It's like it is crazy for me to like think about like her doing all these crazy things, and there was a lot of expectation from me, and it's like it's fun to like fulfill that and like be like proud and like continue everything, continue her like legacy and whatever. So
right on. Here you are, Athlete of the Month for January, but a lot more basketball this season for you guys. League game on Friday, and then the NBL playoffs, and then it's on to the NCS Open Division. You're really looking forward to the postseason this year?
Yes, I'm very excited, and I'm excited because like we belong in the Open, like we've been there every year, and so I'm excited.
Right on. Well, congratulations for being our female athlete of the month, and good luck. We look forward to broadcasting more games down the stretch.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Macy Flores, our female athlete of the month for January. And now here on the podcast, it's time for the male athlete of the month. We stick with basketball, and it's AJ Cole, the point guard for the Cardinal Newman boys basketball team. Coming off a little bit of a scare this week against Santa Rosa, close game, closest league game you guys have had. Talk about what that was like for you. And you ended up scoring 28 points in that game, and they needed all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a very close game against a solid Santa Rosa team. They play us really hard, and sometimes that's good to keep us on our feet and grounded. And for the 28 points, honestly, I'm just going to go out and do whatever my team needs me to do. So some nights I might be facilitating and playing defense, and some nights I might be putting the ball in the basket.
Yeah, you started on this team since you were a freshman. What's it been like for you over the years to see the team develop and to be right here where you guys are now, first place in league, 4 years in a row winning league, and possibly getting a really high seed in Division II?
Yeah, it's growth and just keeping the same pace as we move forward. And this team's a lot different from the team we had last year, but we're still making a lot of progress, and I feel like we're doing really good this year.
Yeah, everybody knows you as that great on-ball defender that just makes it really hard for the other point guard to get the ball up the floor. How did you develop that skill? What's the key to being so good at that?
You know, I always haven't been like the quickest, so it's honestly just working on it, and picking up 94 feet in full court is just always going to help you with that, and it makes it hard for the other team to get there in their offense. So.
Nice. And you guys have a little bit of depth. Carmine's been hurt off and on this year. Talk about how you distribute. You know, you are a great scorer. You can drive to the basket, but you also try to get everybody involved. How do you think about that in terms of who's got the hot hand tonight, or do you have a pretty good idea coming into a game what might work against a certain defense?
It's mostly about just trusting in your teammates. I mean, practice, we get a lot of shots up, and I know that if I pass it to my teammate, more than likely they're going to knock it down. So just trusting in my teammates and being able to move the ball.
Right on. So you got Montgomery coming up, and then the NBL playoffs. NCS looks like you're going to be either a 1 or a 2 seed in that. How far do you think this team could go? Compare this year's team to other teams and what you've experienced as far as postseason play.
Yeah, I think we can go far, and it's really about how hard we practice and how hard we keep our mentality going forward, and I think we'll make a lot of progress going forward.
And does that heartbreak from last year against Moreau Catholic, is that heavy on your guys' minds? Is that motivation?
It's going to be a lot of motivation.
Right on. All right, AJ, thank you for joining us. Congratulations on being our January Male Athlete of the Month, and good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for the podcast this week. Hope you've enjoyed it. We will be back really soon here in the Nest with more Cardinal Newman Sports Broadcasting. See you then.